I will teach you how to identify when a plant needs to be repotted, as well as how to properly repot a plant so as not to shock the plant. Today I have a golden pothos plant. So you can see it's not super golden right now, but it's a little pothos plant. And this little guy is in desperate need of repotting. Now, how do I know this? The first way to check is to check your root systems. Now, this little guy is still in his nursery pot. A nursery pot is the pot that was planted in at the nursery. A lot of people like to keep their plants still potted in their nursery pots just because it's more convenient. You don't want to shock the plant too much, and when you first get a plant, it's nice to have them acclimate to their new environment first and then go through the shock of repotting it. This particular pothos has been in its nursery pot for quite a while, and it is in desperate need of repotting. How do I know this? Well, if you will see right here in the root systems, you see roots, and they look almost like dead roots, coming out from the holes in the nursery pot. This is a very good indicator that your plant is ready to be repotted. So, how do I go about repotting my plants? Well, the first thing you want to do is not buy a pot that is too big. If you get a pot that is too big, then the roots really won't know where to go. Water will sit in it longer, and you are at a much higher risk of root rot. And root rot is a houseplant grower's absolute enemy. So I have a pot right here. This particular pot is at about, I believe, 10 inches, and this nursery pot is at about 8 inches. Whenever you are picking out a new pot for your plant to be planted in, you always want to go with a pot that is 1 to 2 inches in diameter larger than the pot that it is currently in. This is just so you won't strangle the roots. The roots will have more room to grow. It'll just overall make a happier plant. And now the fun part. This is the part where you actually kind of get your hands dirty. So, I have my plants. I have my pot. And right next to me, I have some soil that I have been composting in. So it is nice and rich with some nutrients, and it is just ready to go. First thing that you are going to do is you are going to take your plant in its nursery pot, and you are just going to kind of massage around the edge of the pot. This way you kind of loosen the soil, you loosen the plant that's in there, and you kind of just get it ready to go into its new home. That looks about right. You can tell that it's nice and loose in that pot whenever you give it a nice little smack and the whole thing moves. Once the whole thing is moving, you're ready to go. And then I'm actually going to try to do this a little neatly. Dump it right over here. And you are just going to pull the plant out of its pot. Easy. And now I have just a plant. You get to see those nice root systems. This is my favorite part of repotting plants, is when you get to see those nice roots. You get a good look at them. You can identify a lot of issues that they're having. You just get to know your plants a little bit better, you know? And that's all we need. Now is a little bit of a tricky part. This particular plant is a little bit root bound. That means its roots are kind of wrapped around itself because it's been in that pot for a little bit too long. A root bound plant can still survive and it will thrive. A lot of plants actually prefer to be root bound. It's just a little bit difficult when a plant is root bound just to get it into a new pot. Because what we are going to do next is we are going to massage the root ball and get all of this excess dirt out. So we want just the plant with its roots. I'm going to do that over here, over my compost. And to do this, you just want to very lightly massage it. Just like you're giving it a nice little loving massage. This one is very root bound, so I'm going to have to tear some roots. You really don't want to tear roots. I mean, that is your plant's lifeblood. That is their circulatory system, their digestive system. That is everything. Everything is in those roots. So you want to get through this part by salvaging as many roots as you possibly can. With a plant that's particularly root bound, this is a little bit trickier. You're going to have to cut through some roots just to let it breathe again. Right now it's kind of suffocating. You don't want it to suffocate. You don't want your plants to be suffocated. You want them to be nice and happy and just ready to survive. All right. Okay, so I have my root ball, nice, and it's kind of, you know, it's a little bit nicer. This is ready to be repotted. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to set the actual plant aside, and I'm going to get my pot ready. The first thing you want to do is you want to fill up your pot just a little bit on the bottom. I particularly don't like having bare roots touching the pot. I like them to have a little bit more soil to kind of grow on. So you put about 1 or 2 inches of soil into your pot, and then you are going to place your plant into the pot. Just nice and lightly, try to get all those roots in there. Just get it nice and happy in that pot. All right, and now you're just gonna put the soil around the pot. And you're gonna want to do this in a circular motion to make sure that you're getting an even coating of soil around the entirety of your plant. Now, you do want to pat the soil down, but you do not want to pack it. If you pack it, you have a chance of not getting enough air in there, and that leads to root rot. And like I said, root rot is the bane of every household gardener's existence. You do not want your roots to rot. So I'm just going to continue to put a little bit more soil around the sides. And then I'm going to pack it in lightly, not suffocating. And now that soil feels nice and bouncy. There we go. And that, right there, that is how you repot your plant. Thank you for watching.